thought you worked with Illuminations or something. I didn't even know.
No, no. I'm working actually independently as a psychic medium and intuitive healer.
Okay.
I don't have much experience with shamanism except for a couple of sessions with my sisters and brothers and in a couple of centers as well.
Well, you should take the shamanism course with me then.
And I don't know, like, what's your intake on that when it comes to, so people say it's from Australia, it's from South America, it's from Africa.
Shamanism is everywhere. You have shamans in every country, in every part of the world. You have shaman. I mean, they say it started in Siberia, you know, but again, you have shamans all over the place.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, shamans in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai and in Lebanon and in the Middle East and Australia and South America for sure. You know, they call it classical shamanism over there. The ayahuasca, you know, medicinal plants and other types of medicinal plants.
Oh, you're lagging again.
Anyway, let's start because it's 3.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna mute myself. Thank you.
Thank you. So hi, folks. Hi, everybody. Let me just write this. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. So my question to start with today is, do you believe that there is something you can do today that will completely ruin your lives? That's the question. Do you believe that there's something you can do, some action you can take today that will completely ruin your life? Yeah, of course. Munira's saying yes. Thank you, Munira. Of course, you go insult your boss or hit somebody, you know, you completely ruin your life. They'll stick you in jail. Do you believe that there's something you can do today, some action you can take to better your lives? Yes or no? Yes, Mariam, thank you. So, if you believe that there's something you can do to ruin your lives, and if you believe that there's something you can do to completely destroy your lives, who's responsible for that? Lira. Yes, Mariam. We are responsible. We create our lives. Now, the question is, if we're responsible, how come most people take so little action? We're responsible to better our lives or destroy it. And yet, a lot of us do not take any action. The biggest obstacle, my friends, is fear. Mostly false evidence appearing real. F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. Having said that, today you can do something that will better your lives. So I'm going to talk a little about the practical steps to higher consciousness levels and awakening. Excuse me. And I'm going to talk about the courses I put together. I talked about this 2 days ago, so I won't talk or say the same things I did 2 days ago, but I will give you a sort of a resume real fast. So I put together a series of 10 courses which will help you get on the path, or let's say focus more on your path to a higher level of consciousness, to a higher level of awakening. And I believe you are all light workers here, or else you wouldn't be on this forum right now. So I'm going to take a chance, and in a couple of minutes, we're going to connect with our higher selves, or what I call the divine creative consciousness, or the divine period. You can connect with that particle of God which you are, and you can connect with that. And there are many ways to connect, and I'm going to show you one way. All right, is that good? So the first course that we're going to have in these series, in order to awaken a little bit more and to focus a little bit more on the transpersonal, which means the spiritual, or to to become more conscious, if you want to put it that way, is called the Lightworkers series. Now, like I said, excuse me, like I said a couple of days ago, or I think 2 days ago, we are here not to change or transform the dark into the light. We're not here to do that. We're here to embrace the duality, transcend, and create a new consciousness. This is what the world is going through right now. Okay, this is what the world is going through right now. So embrace duality, the dark and the light, transcend it, and create a new consciousness. That's what we're going to talk about in the Worker series, okay? By the way, this was channeled by somebody called Pamela Cribb, who does a lot of channeling, fantastic lady, and I believe in her mission as well, okay? So, having said that, you know, there was a girl a couple of days ago named Deep. Her name was Deep, D-E-E-P. Is she here today? I guess not, but she reminded me of something because of her name, the story of the deep sea diver. And this story, I told the story 2 days ago, but we have new people here, so I'm going to say it real fast. There's this courageous deep sea diver that is diving again and again, despite all the dangers, despite all the perils. She keeps on diving day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, searching and seeking this rare pearl that nobody has ever seen before. But she's determined, despite everything, despite the fact that nobody saw it, despite the fact that some believe it doesn't exist. She keeps on diving again and again and again, day after day, week after week, month after month, Hailira, and then year after year, she keeps on diving until she becomes this pearl. She becomes this rare pearl by living this duality, by being determined, by seeking and searching this rare pearl. She becomes the rare pearl that did not exist. She created it. This is your challenge, my friends. This is your challenge, Rula. This is your challenge, Lira. I'm sending you this challenge and offering you an opportunity by giving these courses that will help you focus more on the path. It's up to you to take it up or not. I'm just offering what I can offer. And I believe I'm offering a lot. But it's up to you to take it or not. So, do you want to come deep sea diving with me? That's the question. I love diving. And I especially love diving into the transpersonal, the spiritual. Transpersonal is just a fancy name for spiritual, okay? And to do that, you have to use the imagination. The imagination will take you into the imaginal. يعني بالعربي الخيال بياخدك بالتخيل. So the imaginal will take you, or the imagination will take you into the imaginal, which is the transpersonal, which is the spiritual. And then from there, a lot of doors are going to open up because I know you're ready. I think that most of you are ready, if not all of you. So that's about the Lightworker series. Another course will be connecting to the divine, your divine self, your particle of God, or connecting to that higher self, if you want to call it. There are many names: full potential self, higher self, inner healer, whatever name you want to. That's what we're going to do today in a couple of minutes. I'm going to ask you to follow my lead a little bit and to use your breath so we can connect with the divine, your own divine self and the divine. Another course that I'm going to give in these series is happiness and synchronicities. Well, some people say happiness is set like a thermometer. It's set at 40 degrees. You know, if it goes up, it's going to come back to 40. If it goes down, it's going to come up to 40 degrees, or whatever you set that happiness level at. And some people say that it's 50% genetic. Well, we can change genetics and we can actually increase that thermometer of happiness. So if you believe that you're stuck at a level of happiness, it is possible to go up to a higher level, just so you know. Synchronicities will happen. The more conscious you become, the more you're going to attract opportunities and people that will help you out in this mission of yours if you believe you have a mission, or in your life in general. It's happening to me. That's why I can say this. You know, I wasn't always serene and peaceful and, you know, a little bit happy or whatever you want to call it. I still have, you know, some bad times every once in a while, but a lot better than before. So that's why I believe I can talk about this. Through my experience, I can share this. Another course is called From Ego to Heart-Based Consciousness. This is where most people this is what is happening with most people right now. Most people are going from the ego-based consciousness to the heart-based consciousness. And we're going to talk about the steps. And we're going to talk about how the ego slowly not disappears, but becomes balanced, and how we go from the ego-based consciousness to the heart-based consciousness. And I'll give you the characteristics of these two consciousness levels and how usually it happens, or how you'll know that you're going from the ego to the heart-based. It's a very straightforward course, okay? So another one is, I wrote it down here, let me read it. The power of your own consciousness, okay? Well, everything in your world is dictated by your consciousness. Everything that's happening in the world right now is dictated by the collective consciousness if you're not strong enough by yourself to change it. All the prophets and the very conscious men and women who have lived in the world, and we have a lot right now on the face of the planet that are very, very conscious. Well, these people can make a big difference, but it's usually the collective consciousness that will dictate what's going to happen in the world. And now what we're doing is we're going from the ego to the heart base, so the world is going to become better, but it's going to become bigger before it comes better. Tikbar qabl ma tizghar, like they say in Arabic. So get ready for some storms, some tsunamis, or some little, you know, maybe volcanoes and stuff like that, and a lot more than that. Okay, another course is going to be work, money, and relationships. Like I said the other day, most people on their deathbed when they're dying, statistically, only regret one thing. Guess what that is? Not loving their friends more, and not loving their spouse more, or not having better relationships. That's it. They do not regret working more. They do not regret making more money. Yes, Mariam, I think that Illuminations will send you those courses. Thank you. So that's one course we're going to talk about, you know, relationships and money and work. We're going to talk about the cosmic game. There you're going to realize that, you know, there's a lot more than what you can see or what you perceive with your senses, the visual, the auditory, the kinesthetic, or the smelling, gustatory. There's a lot more than that. Remember, we cannot see the red light, we cannot hear the ultrasound, but they do exist. A lot more exists. So if you believe that spirits do not exist, bah, false. They exist. They're all over. Okay, if you believe that extraterrestrials do not exist, that's another no-no. They exist. Well, don't trust me. Don't take my word for it. But let me show you. At least be open enough for me to show you how we can connect. Who's game so far? Chat with me. Sock it to me. Tell me. I wonder how many people I'm talking to. I wonder if there were 3 or 30 or 40. I have no clue.
Marc, I have a question.
Please shoot.
Roxana,
hi.
Huh?
I was saying hi to Roxana Valentino. Yeah, tell me.
Regarding consciousness, when it comes to divine feminine and divine masculine, why do we see more women at, let's say not now, earlier, more women are attracted to consciousness more than men?
Well, women in general are more intuitive than men by nature. But the thing is, it's time for the feminine to come back. Women are taking back their power, okay? Okay, thank you, Roxana. So, yeah, it's time for the feminine to come back. A long, long time ago, it was the opposite, right? The women were in charge and the men were your beasts, so to speak. But that was a long, long time. Okay, so the point is, Now it's about balancing the feminine and the masculine. And of course, the feminine is making a comeback, big time, and especially in the Arab countries. So things are going to change. Can you vote in Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Can you drive cars in Abu Dhabi and Dubai? Women can, yes. In Saudi Arabia, you cannot, right? Or can you? I forgot what happened. What happened to the laws over there?
No, women can drive now. The law had changed. However, there are difficulties still.
Yeah, you're making a comeback. That's what I'm saying. Good. We need it balanced. We need the masculine and feminine balance. In general,
You're saying consciousness, it's about the ajna, the third eye, more than the sacral chakra?
it's not about that. It's a lot bigger than that. When I say consciousness, I'm talking about other worlds, other galaxies, other planets, other beings. We have billions and billions of extraterrestrials, out there. We have a lot of ETs helping humanity now because we're going through this. We're becoming the butterflies. Now's the time. And we have a lot of ETs that are not helping us. They say, you humans are not fit to do this. We're taking over and we're going to control you. I talked about this a couple of days ago. I don't know where. I'm getting lost in all these seminars. But the point is, consciousness on planet Earth is increasing because the vibrations on the planet Earth are, going up to a higher frequency. That's why the corona pandemic, artificial corona pandemic has been, manifested. Because the corona is going to keep most people in fear. And when you're in fear, you're blocked. You cannot go to a higher level of consciousness. This whole deal here has been planned, and that the corona pandemic, the artificial corona pandemic, has been planned to keep us under control, to keep us in fear, so we do not rise to higher levels of consciousness. Okay, so anyway, that's what I was talking about when it came to the cosmic game. There's also living from the heart and transpersonal states of being. I talk about transpersonal states of being. What do I mean? Spiritual states of being. So I have a whole list of them if you want to know. For example, experiencing dual unity. So in breath work or in shamanism work or in all sorts of plant medicine work or even in meditation, you can live a dual unity. In other words, you retain your own awareness about who you are, and you also feel the awareness of somebody else. So in that sense, for example, what happened to me is once, in a session, I was living my rebirth, my birth, my mother giving birth, and my mother at the same time. So I had the awareness of my mother and myself as a baby or a fetus baby being born. When you have those two, all right, so you have the awareness of both. And these are big insights. So that's just one example. Identification with other people. You can become your mother, you can become your father, and forget about your own awareness. So that way you understand them better, or you can forgive them easier. Okay, another state of being would be to identify with animals or plants. So you become an eagle. You completely forget about your own awareness, and you're identified with an eagle or a plant. So becoming an eagle flying around, it's a wonderful experience. I've been there. And another example would be to become a plant or a tree, and you'll notice how generous and giving they are. These are transpersonal experiences that you will most probably live in our courses. All right, another one would be you can get a sense of turning into the whole group of martyrs or prisoners in a concentration camp and see what that feels like. You can become one with life and all creation, completely one. Forget about your own awareness and identification of yourself. You can become a water, fire, earth, mountain, earthquake. You can actually become that and identify yourself with fire, for example. These are great ways to experience insights, if you will. Planetary consciousness, Earth is one complex organism. You can identify with planet Earth and know how it feels because it's a living organism again. Of course, extraterrestrial experiences, you can journey to the moon, the sun, the stars, other planets, black holes, etc. Okay. You can identify with the entire physical universe, out-of-body experiences, telepathy, psychic phenomena, uh, clairvoyance, clairaudience. All these things we're going to do in these courses. Now, a lot of it is taught in the shamanism course as well. Past life experiences. You can feel or feel the rebirth of the cosmos and its development. Future events, you can tap into, the probability of what's going to happen in the future, like psychics do. You can actually become a cell or a tissue or a consciousness. You can go into a cell and help it heal. All these things are what I call transpersonal experiences. And it is said that once you live most of these experiences, once you live them, you become very conscious. And there are many, many states. Okay? Communication with spirits, seeing the aura. A lot of people do that now already. Encounters with suprahuman beings or ETs, visits to other universes and meeting with their inhabitants, experiences of mythological and fairy tale sequences, blissful and wrathful deities, experiences of universal archetypes like the mother, the lover, the martyr, the wise old man, all these archetypes. Okay, so Roxana is asking me about shamanism. In shamanism, Roxana, basically we connect with the principal guide. You can connect with the archangels, you can connect with Buddha, you can connect with Christ, you can connect with Nabi Muhammad, you can connect with God, you can connect with all your power animals, you can connect with other connect with ETs, extraterrestrials. You can journey to the place of wisdom and knowledge. You can journey to the place of divinity. You will heal you learn how to heal in shamanism. That's mostly in level 2. And then level 3, we'll talk about telepathy. We'll work on talking to each other by telepathy. And of course, you can channel and work with some dead relatives if you wish to do so. That's basically what shamanism is, Roxana. But the key to do well in shamanism is to let go. Now, how do we let go? You can let go by using your breath. You can let go by meditation. It's usually a grace. It's not done with your conscious will. Letting go is like trying to taste your own tongue. It's very difficult to do that. So connecting only with spirit guides? No, it's not only, Mariam, connecting with the spirit guides. It's a lot more, like I said, journeying to other worlds in the underworld or in the upper world, also in the middle world where we can use telepathy. My teacher, shamanic teacher, who died not too long ago, used to tell me telepathically, meet me at this time at a restaurant. I used to go there and he was there every single time smiling. Yeah. So once, he did this a couple of times and I would get messages that, is this real or what at the beginning? And then, I kept on going to that restaurant. He was always waiting for me. And one time he told me, Mark, you're late. I started laughing. So it's very possible to talk telepathically. So there are a lot of things you're going to learn in these courses. And obviously I always put in some shamanism. But there's a shamanism course on the 19th and 20th. Also transpersonal through ayahuasca. Yeah. Ayahuasca or not, you don't have to use ayahuasca to get into transpersonal experiences. You can use breath work, for example. I'll show you how to do that. There are many types of sacred medicinal plants. It doesn't have to be ayahuasca. Is this course split? Both are related. Everything's related. Okay, Roxana, they're all interrelated. From all the courses I gave you, the light worker course to the connecting to your divine self, to work, money, relationships with other beings, not only with human beings, the power of consciousness, the cosmic game. All these courses are interrelated. It would be ridiculous to take one course and stop since they're interrelated. Okay? And shamanism is probably the basic course for everybody to take. And I'm giving this shamanism course level 1 on the 19th and 20th in a couple of days. So I really encourage you to take that. Really encourage you to take that course. What is the meaning of the eagle in shamanism? Well, one of my guys is the eagle. The eagle is all seeing. The eagle is, you know, sees everything. Also very courageous. Okay, so it depends on what meaning you give it, but usually it's the bird that sees everything, that oversees everything, obviously. Okay, and there's probably more to it than that. All right. Other transpersonal experiences could be, could be experiencing emptiness or nothingness, or the silence, pure silence, which seems to be the cradle of all existence, containing everything in potential form. You know, just experiencing that deep silence that feels like it's containing everything in potential form for you to create with or co-create with. Now, these are very deep spiritual states. Synchronicities, we talked about that a little bit. There are so-called coincidences beyond reasonable probability. You have people in India, there's one guy that puts a spear in his chest and he doesn't die. He brought in the media from all over the world, I don't know how many years ago. He put a spear in his chest, in his heart, pull it out, you know, and would not die and would stop the bleeding. And there's many gurus that live 3 months underground without water and food. One of my teachers used to stop his heart at will. I wanted to do that on TV. They finally didn't accept that. You know, these things are just to show you that you can go beyond what you think is impossible. You know, Wim Hof is a good person to learn from when it comes to these things. But there's more. A lot of people are doing that now. Objects disappearing or breaking, spontaneous combustions, UFOs, you know, all this we'll get into eventually, mostly in the breath work. Healing and hexing. There's a psychic surgeon in Arigo in Brazil, or Tony Akpo in the Philippines. They heal and they do actually psychic surgery, I think. It's called, and they heal from distances. They bend spoons and they move stuff. When my daughter was young, she's 16 now, but when she was very young, I think she was 8 or 9, I took a spoon bending class and I helped her, you know, I guided her a little bit and she was in front of me, I was holding her and she had the spoon and the spoon actually bent all by itself. She was barely touching it and it bent. And then, you know, I went and I showed her, Mom, I was really excited about it. And my daughter was so cool. She said, you know, so what? Yeah, you told me how I did it. It's like, children have no clue. They don't have any limitations. We have limitations. So I remember that. That was a long time ago. So a lot of things are possible. A lot more than you think. But at least, let's connect. I keep seeing numbers, 312. Okay. In the shamanism course, will you offer any tips about how can we, the empath, protect ourselves from? Of course. That's like the basics, Roxana. You have to learn how to do that, definitely. You know, protection, smudging with sage or using the violet flame. Protection is necessary. You'll actually go to the worlds and learn how to protect. Yeah, it is very important. I agree. Somebody asked a question, I missed it. Thank you, Clear. That's very important to protect. So that's about the courses. Now, if you're ready, I'd like you to, if you want to, just close your eyes because I'm going to guide you for you to connect with your divine creative consciousness. All right, so you got to put that book away, focus with me, and let's do this. Now, keep your eyes closed for the whole duration. All right? Now, The whole point is for you to let go and relax. All right? And use your breath. So I'm going to ask you, since you're going to connect to your divine creative consciousness or your divine self, I'm going to ask you to breathe deeply and slowly in just a moment, 20 times. Let yourself go and fill yourself up with the divine. Now, the divine is all over, okay? That's your intent, to wake up and fill your body with the divine, okay, which is in you and all around you, always has been. Now, your intent is to fill up your body with the divine, and then I'll guide you from there, and we'll go deeper and we'll become one with the divine. Very easy. Okay, breathe in deeply and slowly. Keep breathing. Breathe in the divine consciousness, the divine creative consciousness. Don't stop. Deep and slow. Okay, breathe normally. Focus on the vibes. Focus on the vibrations you might hear or feel in your ears, hands, body. Now, these vibrations are the aliveness of your cells. It's what gives your body aliveness. Feel those vibrations. Good. Once you've connected with those vibrations, know that these vibrations are the aliveness of your cells, and these vibrations are your divine creative consciousness. Again, let's breathe 20 times, deep and slow. And this time you're going to fill the whole room and expand these vibrations to the whole apartment or house you're in right now. So, breathe in at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe in the divine. And as you breathe out, just expand those vibes into the whole room and into the whole apartment or house you're living. Keep breathing. With every out breath, just imagine it's filling in the room and the whole house. Expand the vibes. Good, just allow it to expand. Now be aware that the vibes have expanded in the whole room and into the whole house. The whole house is vibrating with this creative divine consciousness. Good, now let's go back to breath and expand it even more. This time you're going to expand it into the whole city you are in. The whole city. As you breathe out, expand it more and more and more. 1, 2, 3, go. Keep expanding with your out breath into the whole city. Good. Now be aware that the vibes have expanded into the whole city and every little place and every nook and cranny. Now we're going to breathe some more at the count of 3 and expand this conscious, creative divinity or this divine creative consciousness. We're going to expand it in the whole country of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Just expand it as you breathe out. Allow it to expand bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter. 1, 2, 3. As you breathe out, expand some more. Expand it from the city to the whole country, to the whole UAE. Keep breathing the divinity, and as you breathe out, keep expanding it into the whole country, the whole of the UAE. All right, be aware that this consciousness, this divine creative consciousness, has expanded into the whole country. It's there anyway. It's there all the time anyway. We're just focusing on it. And when you focus on something, it becomes bigger. Just allow your breath to expand it. Be aware of it. Good. Now at the count of 3, we're going to expand it from the country to all neighboring countries. 20 times deep and slow. Allow it to expand in your awareness because it is there already. It's inside of you and all around. 1, 2, 3. Keep breathing. The divine creative consciousness is everywhere. God is everywhere. Keep expanding it in your awareness. Be aware that it's in the neighboring countries now, all around the UAE, and expanding some more with your breath. Breathe in 5 more times. In deeply and slowly. And with the out breath, expand it more. Expand that divine creative consciousness into all the neighboring countries. 5 more times. Go. Good. Be aware that this divine creative consciousness is everywhere. Now, focused in all the neighboring countries. At the count of 3, we're going to expand it more across the seas, across the oceans, to the whole world. Just imagine it and be aware of it. It's there anyway. Just be aware of it and expand it with your own consciousness. 1, 2, 3, go. Expanding internationally to all countries, to every nook and cranny, every room. Good. Now just be aware that that divine creative consciousness is in all worlds, or all the whole world, and now we're going into the skies and the cosmos, expanded into the whole universe. The count of 3, just imagine it, breathe out and expand it more and more. 1, 2, 3. Expanding it into the whole universe and galaxies and skies and cosmos. Keep going, keep breathing. Be aware that it's expanding with every out breath. Good. Be aware now that divine consciousness is everywhere, all over. Be aware of the vibes, hear and feel them. The vibes as one whole immense body of divine consciousness. We're one with it all. These vibes as one whole immense body of divine consciousness is one with all that is one with everything that is. Now remain peaceful, aware and present, and you may ask a question to this body of divine consciousness with which you are part of as one. We're all one now with it. With the divine consciousness, you may ask a question to these vibes, to the divine consciousness. Once asked, be playful and focused, and patiently lend your mind to those vibes and receive your answer. You may want to ask, what is your mission? You may want to ask if you should continue taking seminars and courses with Marc, with myself. You may ask, what do I do to become more focused, fearless, and aware? Ask whatever question, be playful, lend your mind to the divine creative consciousness, and you will receive your answer. I will talk to you in 2 minutes. Go. Okay, so now please, if you have anything to share, chat with me. Tell me about the answers you received and what question you asked maybe. And at the same time, I thank the hackers because it's a good lesson to embrace the density, embrace the two poles, to embrace the duality and transcend it. So yeah, we do need a little ignorance and evil in the world. We're always going to be living in duality. The key is to embrace it and maneuver as we're playing chess, but not fight it in the common way of fighting, but fight it with creativity. Fight it especially in a conscious way by what I call creative chess. So go ahead and send some responses to your questions you asked the divine. And thank you. Thank you, Roxana. I hope you received something you can share if you want to. It was amazing. Great. Thank you. تركت البيت في ظروف غامضة منذ 7 أشهر منيرة وانقطعت أخبار. شو اللي شفتي منيرة على المظبوط؟ هل أصدق؟ إيه فيك تصدقي كل شيء أصلا. It's all real. Okay, Munira. Yes, I asked what my purpose in life is. The answers I got is to help people. Great, Roxana. Thank you, my friends. Talk to you soon. I encourage you to take the shamanism course and the 10 spiritual courses that I'm going to give soon. God bless. Stay strong. Keep smiling.